enough fun with that. That's, of course, All Time Low's new album, Future Hearts. If you haven't picked it up, which I haven't yet, I don't have any money, I'm poor. Pick that up if you can. But let's get started. Hello everybody, my name is Ninja K, and if you didn't know that, then welcome. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that is very precious to me and hopefully precious to you guys too. It is called Warped Tour, and I know I talk about Warped Tour quite a bit because it's kind of like a big deal for me. I love Warped Tour. Anyway, if you've been to Warped Tour or you wanted to go to Warped Tour, you probably watched a video titled something like Warped Tour Survival Guide, Warped Tour Survival Tips. Well, today I'm here to give you Warped Tour suggestions because for me, Warped Tour last year, my first time, wasn't really a survival. It was not that hard to survive, honestly. People made it sound a lot scarier than it actually was, and I really wish I hadn't been built up so much for like a scary fight for survival. And I live in Arizona, so it's pretty darn hot here, probably besides extreme humidity, probably one of the worst Warped Tours to be at. But yeah, I'm gonna give you guys some suggestions that might help you have a comfortable and enjoyable day at Warped Tour, and organized, hopefully. I tried to have more of an organized trip, and my last year's Warped Tour was so amazing. I got to see at least 8 or 9 bands, and I got to learn about a whole bunch of new bands that I didn't know about that I love now. I got to see some of my old favorites, like Bowling for Soup, which I actually got this shirt at Warped Tour, and it's super comfy. It's one of my favorite place to buy merch is Warped Tour. I don't buy merch a whole lot at Hot Topic because I save it all up for Warped Tour. Best place to buy merch, even though a little spendy, some of the things you can find there are on sale, so that's always a plus. We're going to start off by talking about what you can bring to Warped Tour. You can bring sunglasses, which I actually had a different pair last year, but I got these pair at Warped Tour, and so they'll be the ones that I probably use this Warped Tour and hopefully get a new pair. Last Warped Tour, I wore my hair up because, I mean, you can wear your hair down, but don't wear any makeup. I mean, don't dress up. It's fun. Dress as far down as you can. Don't wear flip-flops. Don't wear high heels. I saw somebody wearing high heels. Why would you wear high heels to Warped Tour? I mean, you ain't gonna get none in high heels when you look like you just walked out of a car wash. You're drenched in sweat. It's nasty, okay? So, I just wore, I'll show you what I wore last year. I actually still have what I wore. I wore just a cut-off tank top thing. It says London. And I wore that with a pair of high-waisted shorts. The spikes didn't really bother me on it, and it was pretty comfortable. These are stretchy jeans, so cheating a little bit. Underneath my clothes, I actually wore a bathing suit because in Arizona and some of the hotter Warped Tours, they'll have things like blow up, slip and slides and stuff like that, and you could get wet. But then again, when you're jumping around in crowds, people throw their water bottles and stuff, so I just decided it was a good idea to bring a bathing suit, and I was right, so that was nice. If you don't want to wear a swimsuit, I suggest wearing a sports bra, not a bandeau, because that'll fall down. Everybody knows that you're going to be pulling it up all day and you're not going to have fun. I wouldn't wear a regular bra because it's just going to get soaked in sweat and nastiness. I wouldn't do it, but it's totally up to you, I guess. Next, the shoes. I wore just basic Converse. because, and they're kind of old. Vans are good too. Any closed-toed shoes that aren't like super heavy, because if you're looking to crowd surf, which I did last year, actually I didn't crowd surf at Warped Tour. Some of the crowd surfers seemed like they were getting thrown around a little too much, but my sister did. But yeah, you don't want to wear heavy shoes if you're going to be doing stuff like that. You might know that already, but just try to give you some helpful suggestions that'll make your day as comfortable as possible, because who doesn't want to have fun at Warped Tour? And the more comfortable you are, honestly, the more fun it is. I didn't bring, like, I saw people bringing huge jugs of water. I just brought a regular water bottle, and I drank it a few times, you know, I drank from it, and then I filled it up a few times. The water stations that, when I went, they weren't too filled up, because if you wait it out long enough, or drink a lot of water at the very beginning, you're pretty filled up for the day. And I didn't have a huge problem with water. I was pretty good. They also have those like fanning stations where it's like a giant fan in like a little trailer, and you just stand in front of it and it blows cold air on you. That was pretty nice. I stopped by one of those a few times. This Warped Tour I'll probably wear my Vans, because my Converse are totally trashed, like beyond you should be wearing them trashed. Another thing that so to carry all my crap and all my merch and stuff, I brought this, it's a little bit more of a heavy duty drawstring bag, and it's got this like huge pocket, which I didn't put anything in because I didn't want people to steal from me, which, you know, I'm glad that nobody stole from me. But they have these like really ginormous pockets that go like all the way down to the bottom. And I was able to put all my merch in this, and it was great. I think I bought like $100 worth of stuff. I usually bring like, I'd recommend bringing like $50 to $100 to Warped Tour if you want to buy merch and stuff. If you can't bring that, you know, don't bring money that you don't have. Bring anything you can. Prices for everything are very different. Like anything from like, I'd say $5 to like $60, probably the range of prices for things. Anywhere between there is probably where things are going to be at. But yeah, and there's totally like deals and stuff on different things, and you can play games and win things. That's how I won those sunglasses last year. And let's see, along with this bag, so in this bag, when I originally arrived, I brought a bottle of spray-on the sunblock to protect myself from the sun, because yeah, I'm white. But I didn't need to apply it too many times. I probably applied it like three times throughout the day. And I put a coat on before I left the house. So 4 times altogether, and I don't sunburn that easily, so it might be just me, but just put it on, you know, whenever you feel like a little too hot or you don't feel protected, and you'll be fine. I also brought a hand sanitizer with me, because there are kind of a lot of germs at Warped Tour. And I'm not a germaphobe, but when you walk into the porta potty and there is no hand sanitizer left, you are going to be the one who's prepared, not everybody else. So it ended up being a good thing. Another thing I'd say to bring with you is extra hair ties. You might not need them, but you might. I mean, don't bring like this whole thing. Maybe wear a couple on your wrist or something. I wore one in my hair, and sometimes eventually you want to like roll up your shirt, you want to tie it off, or you'll lose it, it breaks, all kinds of stuff, but I always bring extra hair ties with me. I brought some chapstick because it's just like really salty and dry out in the desert and I needed it, and so that was helpful that I brought that. Plus, you know, one day you're gonna be kissing band members, right? Ha 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 ha. Moving on. Another thing that was kind of helpful that was like unusual that I brought to Warped Tour was this this Paul Mitchell Moisture hydrating spray. I mean, let's see. Can you see it? There you go. It's for your hair technically, but we met this lady at a hair salon and she said she brought it to Warped Tour one time, and you can kind of just spray it wherever you want and it like hydrates you a little bit. It gives you that little fresh, it's not water, it's like more than water, but yeah, you can spray it on your hair and skin. It gives you the directions for that, but it was actually really helpful because there were some times when, you know, you're standing in a crowd of people waiting for a band to start and it's like not going to start for another 30 minutes and you're just sitting there like dying because you're crammed like sardines. So me and my sister sprayed this on us. Sometimes if we had, you know, people that we were chill with around, we'd be like, But it actually came in really helpful, and you don't need as much as you think. You only need like 2 or 3 sprays a person, and it, you know, hydrates you and it makes you feel like fresh again. So if, you know, you're around any hair supply places, I suggest picking this up because it's really helpful. That's just one of the things that I found out last year while I was first Warped Tour. Another thing is, for me, I personally like having things signed certain times, so I always bring like 2 or 3 Sharpies of my own because sometimes band members are walking around and they're like, going to lunch or something like that. Probably not like that, maybe Damon busy, but probably not any band members. Maybe Jaime, actually. I see Jaime walking like that, just like but anyway, I bring around my own Sharpies so that I can be like, hey, sign my t-shirt that's Sleeping with Sirens, even though you're in Pierce Mail. But yeah, and so that ended up being really helpful. I actually had I had like a silver Sharpie, and I was having Evan from Ghost Town sign something for me, and I've met him a few times, and he looked at my Sharpie and he's like, this is a really nice Sharpie. I'm gonna take this Sharpie. So he took my Sharpie and then he gave me his crappy Sharpie, and it's like, it's gray and mine was silver, so it's like not really a good trade-off, but I let him do it anyway because he needed to sign a lot of things. So yeah. Anyway, little Warped Tour stories there. Another thing that I really love, like planning for Warped Tour, is like who I'm gonna see, who takes priority, and like any other times, because last year I planned out who I wanted to see most and who I'd be okay with seeing, and I ended up seeing like 9 bands, I think. And it was awesome. I mean, I'm okay with non-stop just running to stage to watch bands. It's so fun. But if you want to just like chill and hang out, watch like 3 or 4 bands, that's cool too. That's what Warped Tour is for. So this year I tried to pick as many bands that I'd be cool with seeing and my tops, and then if, you know, if those aren't there, I have my seconds, and then my thirds, and I mean, and then I put down like who I've seen before. I put down some of the smaller bands that I like saw there last year but didn't watch, or like I heard about through the year. And so this is my list. Up here at top I have Emarosa because I'm so excited to see them. Then I have Memphis Mayfire, I have Palisades, I have the Amity Affliction, I have, what is this, can't see. Oh, We Came as Romans, and I have Bless the Fall. I'm sorry you guys, I'm trying to look at the camera and it's not working. Then I Killed the Prom Queen as my tops. And those are people that I like really want to see and I really want to make an effort to see. And then I have my chill people that I'd be totally cool with seeing if these guys are like playing at the same time or something. I have the guys that I'd see if, you know, just hanging out and they don't have anything to do. So I've got Hands Like Houses, Juliet Sims, Miss May, Mod Sun, Set It Off. And it's like, the more bands you like are like okay or happy to see, the easier Warped Tour becomes, because it's not like, oh, 2 bands that I really wanted to see are playing at the same time and I can't pick. Because this way you can always, you know, go to their concert one other time. But this way you can see so many bands, and I think that's the most fun thing ever. Some of the smaller bands like that I saw last year there that I didn't actually like see. Buttons is actually like a really good one. I got a CD from them last year and they're super good. I want to see them live this year. Youth in Revolt, Slaves, those are ones I want to see too. And then I put down things people I've seen like Beartooth, Pierce the Veil, Man Overboard, This Wildlife, and Black Veil Brides, but my sister hasn't seen Black Veil Brides, so might have to go see them again because she wants to. And then this is just a little fun thing that I like to do, because you're always going to find new bands that you like at Warped Tour, whether it's, you know, local bands that you haven't heard of, or like new bands that are smaller that were pulled onto the tour that you come across while you're just wandering around. I always like to go through the list of bands and pick one random band that I will go and see and just check out for the first time and not listen to them at all beforehand. And so this year my random pick is The Dirty Nil. They're pop punk rock, I guess. They seem pretty cool, so I'm excited to go and watch that too. But yeah, that's how I like to organize my days for Warped Tour, because you don't know what the set time is going to be for anybody, and neither do the bands until you get there. So it's like a surprise, and even though I don't like surprises, I love Warped Tour. And one of the other things that I love doing is going around to certain booths that are like non-profit, and I also donate to Feed My Starving Children now, food, cans of food and stuff, and that's always good too. You can get a jump in line pass, and you get to give kids who don't have food, and that's pretty awesome. So that's one of my favorite things to do as well. I love going past some of the like Music Saves Lives tents, and last year there was another non-profit that they were a profit. And you gotta like paint yourself for like $2-3, and it was all these cool paints, and you gotta paint canvas, and that was super fun. And it gives money to their charity, which is cool. So definitely check that out. Some other things that I wanted to say is if you're at Warped Tour and you're in a crowd that's got like a mosh pit or people are crowd surfing, make sure you help those people crowd surf, because I saw so many incidents last year where people got thrown into crowds and then they got dropped really bad, and that's just not cool, man. That's not something you should let happen. If you're there and you don't move out of the way, try and help them up. I know it might suck. They might land on your hair, or they might, you know, hit your head a little bit, but it's okay. At least they didn't like break their leg, or you didn't like die or something. So everything's good. Try to help people out. I'd say try and make as many friends as you can, because I've made some of my favorite people met some of my favorite people at Warped Tour, and you know, you never really know how many people are in your state that like your music until they're all there at Warped Tour, and it's super cool, and it just makes you feel like there are 1,000 people that are with you and on the same page as you, and it's like, I don't know, it's one of those great feelings that you get when you see old friends, or you meet somebody that knows exactly how you feel, and you find out that they feel that way. Like, I guess when you confess your love to somebody, it's kind of like that, but not exactly the same. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that's kind of how it is. But yeah, I really like Warped Tour. And I hope you guys do too, and I hope these helpful suggestions have helped you, and you know, maybe you can have a comfortable, enjoyable Warped Tour experience. I might cut this into 2 parts because right now it's like 21 minutes long, and I don't know how many people want to sit through that. But maybe you do. I don't know. You don't have to watch all of it, but if you did, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I am really thankful if you do so. I know I might be boring sometimes, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, I think I'm cool. So you guys think I'm cool too, because I'm the coolest. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to check out my late night reading interview if you haven't. Link will be like up here or up here. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Ninja K out.